Welcome to the Natural Way of Being video blog. This video is titled Differentiating Power and Intent. So many of us have a difficult time owning the power of our being, and yet we're encouraged to do so. You know, in these books that we read and workshops, it's like, own the power of your being, step into your power, step into your personal power. You know, own the power of being a woman, or don't give your power away, or claim your power back. I mean, there's all these things, and yet we still have this resistance to owning our personal power, owning our spiritual power, our natural power. And I'm wondering, if it's because we've seen so much like misuse of power. We've seen power used in destructive ways or in abusive ways. In a sense, all types of abuse in one form or another are about misusing power. It's like child abuse or incest is the misuse of power between, say, adult and child. Sexual harassment is about the misuse of power between boss and employee. There could be a differential of power between men and women, at least physical power. So like, sexual assault and rape and domestic violence is a misuse of power in a sense. Gender discrimination is a misuse of power. Racism is a misuse of power. Tyranny, is a definite, by definition, is a misuse of power between, someone that has political power or societal power and someone that doesn't. So I'm suggesting we differentiate between power and intent. Okay, and so let's start with power. So power is kind of, for terms of this talk anyway, I'm going to break power into having two types of power. One is about the energy. Power is energy, the energy of our being, the power of truth, the power of beauty, the power of like strength, and the power of charisma and leadership. I mean, this is an energy that kind of emits from our heart, from our being. And so that's one type of power. It's an energy. The other type of power is kind of what I talked about before. It's like a discrepancy of roles, of like relational roles. It's like situational, like between parent and child, adult and child, like teacher and student, doctor and patient, boss and employee. There's a discrepancy of power for situational things. So power becomes destructive or haywire, if you will, when we have malintent. Okay? It's like we have the intent to gain an advantage or take advantage or get over on another person or exploit. Those are all intents. It's not the power itself. This is a subtle distinction, but I really want to make it here. It's not the power itself. It's the intent of how we use that power. In a sense, all abuse is a misuse of power, if you really think about it. And now this intent is not always conscious. That's why it's tricky. Someone can have unconscious malintent, and they may not even be aware of it. But still, I would argue that it's the intent and not the power itself that is becoming abusive or destructive. Because, if we say that power is evil or negative in itself, it would be like saying that money is evil, or it would be like saying that sex is evil. Now, have, people done a lot of evil things, with money and with sex? Absolutely. We have all the corporate greed and all kinds of exploitation and, that happen with money. And obviously sex, with all kinds of, sexual assault and trafficking and sexual abuse. But it would be silly to say that money is evil or sex is evil. It's the intent of how we use money. Money itself is energy. Sex itself, you could say, is energy, like power is. It's all about our intention of how we relate to and use these things. So if we can have malintent or negative intent with power, we just as easy, well, maybe almost as easy, can have positive intent with power. We can use power to make a positive difference with clear intent. We have the intent to make a difference. We can touch someone's life. We can change the world. We can make a difference in our community. We can love our child or teach a child. You know, all of these are using our power to make a positive difference. So back to how we started this. So own the power of your being. You know, the world needs well-intentioned, powerful people. It needs powerful teachers, which teachers have power. It needs powerful police people. It needs powerful bosses. You know, it needs powerful men and powerful women. It needs powerful doctors and powerful yoga teachers and, you know, powerful therapists. You know, all of these, you know, inevitably have this power differential, but yet it doesn't mean we shouldn't step into our power and use those various powers to make a difference in the world. Is power intoxicating? Is power seductive? It can be. So absolutely have a way that you do your work. Have a way that you check yourself so that you don't misuse your power. For most of us, you would be misusing it unconsciously. So do your work. Look at yourself, you know, whatever that is, through therapy or coaching or journaling or inquiry or however you do your work. Do your work so you can be clear when you step into your power. But then let it rip. I mean, let your power flow. Let it naturally flow from your being. You know, the world needs powerful people. Okay, if nothing else, it needs powerful people, you know, to, you know, kick the ass of the people that are misusing their power. You know, what about that argument? You know, so back to where we started this. Own the power of your being. The world needs you to own the power of your being. Your community needs you. Your family needs you. Your clients need you to step into your power and allow it to flow and to feel good about it, because power is a beautiful thing if it has proper intent. So anyway, that is my video blog for this week. Thank you for watching. I hope you have an awesome week and that you're able to own your power and use it to make a difference out in the world. And I will see you in a week.